Wow. Wow.
Cheese.
Say cheese.
Cheese.
Back to the channel, thought it was time for a little bit of a catch up. But how cute is that? Seeing that next generation getting involved in the countryside, falconry, wildlife. It makes your heart sing. And to be quite honest, equally, when I've been out with Kyle, my son, and Tommy, his best mate, and I've been filming, and they've been flying their birds in the last couple of seasons quite a bit. I enjoy it, 85% of the time, as much as going out on my own. There's something about seeing the younger generation, and I think that passion and fire that the younger generation have. We all had that sort of slightly different passion when we were young. Just fantastic. So seeing little Lily there do that, handling her first falcon, how lovely. Anyway, over, or rather down under, down in Australia, Australian raptor rehabber John, down in Tasmania. He's been, I don't know if he's had to get a license, but he's started doing more outreach work. His brown falcon, he's got one in that can't be released. It's never going to be fit for purpose back in the wild. It's a young bird, and it's taken to manning down and so on and so forth, really chilled out. The brown falcon, I think, has got a lot of traits like a lugger falcon. You might as well say it's the common buzzard, as John calls it, of the falcon world. Kind of eat anything. Really happy to kind of be a falconry bird in so much as this is great, I just get fed. So it can never get up to full speed or maneuverability, but it can fly on a creance and fly short distances. And it's been training it and taking it out to outreach programs. Still getting plenty of stuff. A lovely mask now recently. Look at that. So beautiful stuff. I always like to see the news. Go on the page, give him some kind words of support. They're doing a great job down there. A guy that's very knowledgeable. He's off to Abu Dhabi soon to learn a lot about the veterinary side, or a lot more from the top people in the world. But yeah, just interesting seeing birds here in the UK we'll probably never see in real life unless we go over to Australia. On other news, my secret bird. 99% sure there's a female there. It's looking cute, it's looking good. It's back with a foster mum. Looking forward to, fingers crossed, that all turning out fine. A new bird to fly this year, and hopefully a completely new lifestyle that I really need to, at the end of this summer, I've got to make changes to get back to things I want to do. I'm just having a moan to someone here at Holden Bee saying, centre's shut today, the birds have been fed, the animals have been cleaned out. I've had to come up just to mow the lawns and do some maintenance. I've got a day off schools. Could have went fishing, haven't been fishing for years, and so it goes on. I'm just not getting that time, and that also means falconry time, and that's something I've really got to readdress, and hence the new bird, which should enable me to get out in a much easier way than flying a golden eagle full time. So we'll see. By the way, if he's still got them, at the time of recording this, Richie Latham has still got some cracking birds. No more Harris's hawks, they're in short supply this year. What a turnaround. So a lot of people have asked me if I know anyone with Harris's, and at the time of recording this, all those people are sold out. Wow. Harris hawks are going for up to £800 a female this year for the top quality ones. They're sold out, and there's people with still goshawks available. What a turnaround in the last decade. The Harris hawk from zero going up to hero. Rightly so, I guess, rightly so. Hold on, because we've got a aviation thing going on soon, and there's blooming, and he said birds, there's planes all over. That's a helicopter. Hold on, guys. Excuse me, I'm heading down to Kent soon to see Pete of Free Bird of Reason, have a chat with him, have a chat about the falconer gathering. He's coming up, Dan Mercer's coming down. We're going to do a little YouTube sort of fun questions and answers, as I hope you all know by now. For goodness sakes, if you don't know what's going on at the end of September, get on the Facebook page, please. And if you can, certainly if you're in the UK, be here. It's for you. Make it work, guys. Help me and everyone on our team make it work by coming along. £9.50 buy your ticket online now. I'll put a link in the description. You save yourself £1 or £2 if you buy up front, because that helps us gauge how many people are coming. It's really hard when it's the first event of its kind here. You know, we've got to make sure there's enough beer, enough food, enough cake, and so on and so forth. Help us out. Book online, for goodness sakes, it's England. Who cares what the weather is? But that's for us. We've had enough videos about that just now, but I just want you to keep that in the forefront of your mind. The Falconry gathering here in Northampton at Holdenby House, Icarus Falconry. You guys, you need to help me make it happen. So I'm going down to see Pete. It's outside the Falconry season, so we're not going to get out together. I'm not going to go out on his land flying with Woody, but for sure we're going to have a good old chinwag and catch up and see how we are. So the red-tailed hawk, Ruby, who came here recently, she's gone off to molt out, but molt out and be handled morning and evening and fed on the glove by Jack here, our sort of tech guru really at Icarus Falconry. He's delving in, taking the plunge into falconry. So far he's doing it all right. Just got to make sure he just keeps one bird and doesn't end up with 101. I hope you've all seen that video. So I hope you're listening, Jack. The baby vulture, gorgeous little vulture here at Icarus Falconry, thanks to Liberty's Bird of Prey Centre. Oh, that little guy, he's growing, he's getting fat, spending most of his time in Ursul's bedroom, I think, but he's getting bigger and bigger, still woolly, like a ball of cotton wool, but he's probably doubled in size now. Quite a slow growth thing compared to Maverick, who's the Tearsal Peregrine, who's just fledged. The name was put out to the masses, and that's what was voted the best one. Why not? Top Gun 2 came out recently, and Top Gun, the original, there is no better film ever created. So Maverick, quite a cool name for Top Gun of the Sky. I don't think he will be, because that's not his job. His job's to fly on experience days. But it's all going on. There's lots going on. The Falconers gathering is really taking up, you know, the mental space that's left in my head. Interesting today. The Tortoise is here. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of these Mediterranean ones, but they can only come out when we haven't got anyone here, apart from a couple of them, because they don't have their A10s. This one here was found in 1974, walking the streets, bless it. I know this isn't falconry, but it's all relevant, I'll tell you why. So it's a wild caught animal. Back in the 70s, they were all wild caught. This one was given to my daughter from a lovely old lady that breeds them. They don't have Article 10s. We've got one over here, Boone. He's got an Article 10, but it states specifically once he reaches 4 inches long, he's got to have it updated and be microchipped. So his Article 10 is out of date. And this little one here, all above board. So only one of them's allowed out in the public eye now. So, well, obviously, just like the birds of prey. So they've had to be microchipped to be given their unique number, just like your birds. And then we've got to register and get covering letters off the people that my friend that's had that one for over 50 years now. Covering letters, and DEFRA have said, as long as you can give us some history, we should be able to issue you an A10. But for you guys that just keep your birds, loads of animals have to have A10s for commercial purposes. That means, would you believe it, if someone's paid to come in here and they see a tortoise, it needs an A10. I've got to go for now, because Mike Hewlett's just turned up and he's brought me loads of food. He's doing his trousers up. He's letting it all hang out today in this hot weather. Catch you later. Well, that's put the world to rights over a cup of tea. Mike's feeling the same. Sometimes your work just gets so intense, and I'll tell you what, it is the mental strain. It's all the office type stuff and all the worries and so on. It actually, I'm not whinging, but it actually, yeah, you just feel like you just want a simple life. So I think big vegetable plot, learning what leafy things are edible in the countryside more than I do now, which isn't very much, a fishing rod and a hawk. Yeah, the good life, that's for me. Live off the land, spend your day working hard to get enough food to eat. Wouldn't that be good if you could just have enough money to put diesel in your car and pay for those things that we just can't escape from, for sure. One thing did happen. Zara, Kyle's female Harris hawk, which most of you I think have seen on social media, and Tommy's imprint, which is like the best imprint ever, certainly quiet compared to my better reared one. They tried to breed them last year. the eggs were just, it all failed. Before that, I've paired Zara with my Nigel, and they were infertile. This year, they're on their third clutch. One was, I think, infertile. They ate most of them as soon as they hatch. So they've actually laid a couple more eggs, and Kyle's decided I'm having them out. He's incubating them, and he's probably going to crash rear them. So there could be a couple of very well-bred Harris Hawks imprints available in the future, but who knows? They're just eggs at the moment. Fertile, I think they are, but yeah, I think he'll just be chuffed to actually see a baby Harris Hawk from that pair after, yeah, all the waste of time so far. What else could I tell you guys? There's another pesky aviator above my head now. The red arrows are about to pass over. I would like to film them because they're cool, but I've got stuff to do. I've got to get on that mower, but maybe I'll see them and I'll show you. Book review. I've actually read another book, and I don't mean audible, I've actually read another book. A local guy, Steve Capel, real countryman, pest controller, naturalist and nature lover. I highly recommend. A lovely read. Worth every penny, actually. It really was a lovely read. Quite nostalgic for me, because I've known him since I was a little boy, and he talks about areas where I grew up that were way less developed when he grew up, because he was older than me. So some local history, which makes it more poignant for me, but a really enjoyable read for any country person for sure. I do think, yes, he did say to me, when you get towards the end, there's a chapter on dogs. That'll get the tears. Well, you guys know I'm a softie, and it really did. Oh, dogs, they just break your heart, don't they? But Steve Capel's book, this one of his books, because he's also a leading author on actual pest control, but I highly recommend this if you want a nice, enjoyable book to read that'll touch your lives as well. Doing recommendations. Falconry raptors are more on YouTube. I've plugged Ryan's channel before. He's only a young lad, really. Fantastic research, information and knowledge. It's a really interesting channel, very different from this one, but a lot of stuff that you'll be interested in. Definitely check that out on YouTube if you want to watch something for a few minutes. Some of the stuff about the extinct animals and birds, truly fascinating. Really recommend that as something to delve into on YouTube. Fascinating stuff that I'd never even heard of, knew about, wasn't even on my radar, but brilliant. Check it out. I'll see you in the next one.